I was one of the ones who initiated the 911 call. I was the first one who heard the gunshot go off, and then the second shot goes off, and that's when I got a cold feeling down my spine. Okay, this is unusual. So I started putting my belts, my tactical belts, my body armor, and I put my helmet, and then the third shot came out. That's when I knew that we were under attack at that moment.
That's a Dallas ICE agent describing the moment last week's deadly shooting began. Officials say the gunman was targeting agents, but ended up killing 2 detainees and injuring 1 more. Fox got an exclusive tour of that facility after the attack, and Brooke Taylor has the details for us. Good morning, Brooke.
Hi, Dana. It was truly shocking just to see how many bullets hit this facility. The best way to really describe what we saw is these agents and detainees were under attack from almost every single angle and direction. The field office director gave us an exclusive tour inside. Watch.
This is where another gentleman over here was receiving first aid. I think we used every single first aid kit we had in the building. You've got, obviously the windows boarded up, the glass is boarded over, but you had rounds coming through multiple windows, I think 9 different windows that he shot through. He was a coward, plain and simple.
Bullets ripped through supervisor offices, work cubicles, and the employee break room. Agents dodged these bullets and risked their own lives to bring those detainees to safety. Now, more than 100 employees typically work out of this ICE Dallas field office. Miraculously, none of those agents were hurt.
Shooting through the windows, punches right into a cube, right, where someone could have been sitting. Thankfully, no one was sitting there at that time.
The shooter fired from a nearby rooftop, targeting those ICE agents. He had ammo with anti-ICE written on it, and the FBI says phone records and writings expressed a deep hatred toward those agents. Now, tragically and ironically, the shooter instead hit 3 detainees in a transportation van. 2 were killed, and 1 is still in the hospital.
And it breaks your heart to see that.
And the field office director says that these agents, they're still trying to process what they saw and what they went through. He blames anti-ICE rhetoric for what happened, but he says they're not going to let this stop them from carrying out their mission, Dana.
Brooke Taylor, thank you for bringing us that story.
So, Leah, Dana, let's talk to Todd Lyons, acting ICE Director. And sir, thanks for coming back here. I got a lot of things to go through.
Thanks, Bill.
And as we do these segments now, there's a lot going on all across the country. We'll take it one by one. In Dallas, I was not aware that there are apps that track the movement of ICE. Do you know if this killer in Dallas was using an app to do that?
He was, Bill. Yeah, there's FBI found evidence on his phone that he was weeks prior looking at the location where ICE agents and officers were conducting raids. So he was using the app. Many people use the app. I think the acting director, VRO, said it great. When that's like giving hitman directions, right? If someone's anti-ICE and they have a mobile app where they can find ICE agents and officers in real time, that's a dangerous situation.
Wow, it's a different world, isn't it? That means more security at your ICE facilities. That's what I see. In Portland, there are Democratic members of Congress saying that the president threatening with National Guard troops there is just throwing more fuel on the fire. Do you see it that way? And is it still moving that way in Portland?
No, I don't, Bill. It's been a consistent battle every night with Antifa in Portland, right? The men and women of our special response teams, Federal Protective Service, we've called on local and state officials to help, but we just haven't seen the help. Just recently, we did see Portland police come out the other night and make some arrests, but we're out there every night battling, people that are bringing sticks, bats, shields, throwing their own CS grenades at us. So it's not a peaceful situation. It's not First Amendment.
Okay, so this text popped up on Sunday. Here's the president with a text message to the Democratic governor of Oregon. I notified you to get things in order, and you didn't. They attacked our ICE patriots last night and other times. If you get your state in order, we don't come in. But everyone knows that Portland has an unmitigated disaster for years. Quick answer, when does this happen? Does it happen?
Bill, they're planning right now, and I think we're holding to kind of see what Portland's going to do, but we're prepared to go ahead and protect our men and women of ICE.
Okay, Border Patrol is on the move in Chicago in the last 48 hours. South side of Chicago, I do believe, going after members of TDA. How many were found? How many arrested in Chicago?
You know, they've made over 40 apprehensions. And when you think about it, that was a known empty apartment complex that the city knew of, that it was known TDA members were in that building. You know, they've arrested several TDA members with criminal histories. We knew there were going to be weapons in that location. There were people living in squatting in vacant apartments. You know, just recently, we arrested a sex offender, first-degree sex offender of a child in Chicago. So there are definitely public safety threats. We thank the Border Patrol for helping us with our interior enforcement. But it's important that we go ahead and we take care of these public safety threats, especially in abandoned apartment buildings like that.
Is that going to continue, south side of Chicago and other parts?
You know, Operation Midway Blitz is going to keep going. Wherever there are criminal aliens that we do have actionable intelligence on, we're going to go ahead and make those arrests.
There's a superintendent in Des Moines, Iowa. He has resigned now his position, and apparently he was here illegal, had a deportation order in 2024 under then President Joe Biden, and did not leave. Here is the chair of the Des Moines School Board. Her name is Jackie Norris. Also running as a Democrat for a Senate seat, possibly in Iowa. Watch here.
The individual who was leading our district with energy and enthusiasm was detained by ICE agents. Since that time, this district, the Iowa Department of Education, the Department of Homeland Security, and others have learned that his citizenship and status and eligibility to work in the United States is not what we were led to believe. We really have to stay focused on how we're communicating with our young people, because citizenship is a very complex issue.
Think of that. That was the woman over the weekend said you need radical empathy in a case like this.
You know, it's not a complex issue. This gentleman actually started his immigration career in 1994, where he was arrested for selling narcotics, then later for theft of a vehicle, came back on a student visa, and had multiple weapons charges. You know, Bill, he had a gun, cash, and a knife on him when he fled ICE agents. So I'm very happy that we were able to take the subject into custody, but it's a scary thought that he was leading a large school system like that.
I'm assuming someone like Ian Roberts would be sent back to his home country of Guyana in South America. Is that right?
100%. Yes, sir. Yeah, 100%, Bill.
Okay, Todd Lyons, thank you. It's a laundry list, and that's not an exaggeration. More to come. Sir, thank you for your time today. Thanks for coming on.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.